Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing another Is It Worth It series review. And the series I'm reviewing is the Onyx and Ivory duology by Mindee Arnett. So the first book is Onyx and Ivory. The second book is Shadow and Flame. So first off, this duology is absolutely worth the read. I loved both books. I gave both 5 out of 5 stars. The first one, Onyx and Ivory, is a really strong start to a new fantasy series, and the second book is a great conclusion to the series. So the first book, Onyx and Ivory, I'm actually going to read you the Goodreads synopsis because I have a hard time summarizing this book, but it's so good. So the Goodreads synopsis says, they call her Traitor Kate. It's a title Kate Brighton inherited from her father after he tried to assassinate the High King years ago. Now Kate lives as an outcast, clinging to the fringes of society as a member of the Relay, the Imperial Career Service. Only the most skilled in riding and bow hunting ride for the Relay, and only the fastest survive. For when dark falls, the night drakes, deadly flightless dragons, come out to hunt. Fortunately, Kate has a secret edge. She is a wilder, born with magic that allows her to influence the minds of animals. But it's the magic that she needs to keep hidden, as being a wilder is forbidden, punishable by death or exile. And it's this magic that leads her to a caravan massacred by night drakes in broad daylight. The only survivor, her childhood friend, her first love, the boy she swore to forget, the boy who broke her heart. The High King's second son, Corin Tormain, never asked to lead, even as he waits for the Yur, the once-in-a-generation ritual, to decide which of the king's children will succeed him. He knows it's always been his brother who will assume the throne, and that's fine by him. He'd rather spend his days away from the palace, away from the sight of his father, broken with sickness from the attempt on his life. But the peacekeeping tour Corin is on has given him too much to reflect upon the night he saved his father's life, the night he condemned the would-be killer to death and lost the girl he loved, which is why he takes it on himself to investigate rumors of unrest in one of the remote city-states, only for his caravan to be attacked and for him to be saved by Kate. With their paths once more entangled, Kate and Corin have to put the past behind them. The threat of drakes who attacked in the daylight is only the beginning of a darker menace stirring in the kingdom, one whose origins have dire implications for Kate's father's attack upon the king, and will thrust them into the middle of a brewing civil war in the kingdom of Rhyme. So that's the synopsis. There is so much that I loved about this book and this whole, the whole duology in general. I really love the characters. I like Kate and her dynamics with their friends Bonner and Signe. And I liked how they all felt real. Like, all of the characters felt real. They felt fleshed out. It felt like a real friendship between the three of them. You know, they were super loyal and supportive of Kate, but they still got into arguments and fights sometimes. And that just made it feel more real. I also really like Corin, the prince, and his best friend Dao. I really like their characters. They were imperfect and they felt real and fleshed out. So I really liked all the characters in here. Even the villains. There's one villain in here that I won't spoil anything, but he's one of those you love to hate him type of villains. So yeah, I really like the characters. Also, for once, there are no love triangles or quartets in this YA series. So yay for that. It seems like every YA series, I'm like, why do you have to have a love triangle, or now it's even a quartet, or like 5 people or whatever? It's getting weird, and I'm just like, let's go back to simple. Let's make it simple. Simple times 2 characters that fall in love. I'm okay with that. Like, we don't need to be throwing in 3-4 people into the mix. I also like that the romance here in this series is balanced out well with the fantasy elements. I like that there's enough other stuff going on with, the politics and kind of the mystery surrounding why Kate's dad tried to assassinate the king, and what she's learning and what she's finding out about her father's secret and stuff. I feel like there's enough other stuff going on that it's not super heavily focused on the romance. And I like that, because sometimes the romance can take over a story, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is okay, but let's get back to what was going on before. So I like that this had a good balance of that. The romance in here I did like, but again, like I said, I like that it didn't overpower the story and the other things that were going on. So I really liked it, and there's a lot that goes on in this series. There's a lot of reveals, there's a lot of twists that we find out, and I'm just like, I love it. I'm all here for it. I love how we find out new information, and the twist that comes in. I'm just like, I am all for this. So I really enjoyed that. Another interesting element I thought was the Ur trials, which is like basically, like the synopsis says, it's a series of challenges that determine who's going to become the next king of rhyme. So I thought that was interesting, the way they did that, the way Mindee Arnett does that, because typically with stories like this, where there's a kingdom and a king, and he has these, and he has sons or kids or whatever, typically I feel like it's so common to see that, the oldest born son is the one that ends up inheriting the kingdom. But this one, that's not the case. They have to compete in challenges to see kind of who's worthy to become the next king among the 2. So I thought that was a really interesting take. I like seeing that part of the book and seeing the Ur challenges that Corin has to go through. And this book is told in dual perspectives. So we get Kate's perspective and Corin's perspective. And I thought it was well balanced out between the both. And I really enjoyed both of their stories. Now with the second book, Shadow and Flame, it kind of picks up where the first book leaves off. The prologue kind of picks up where it leaves off. But then when you get to the first chapter, we jump 1 year into the future. So I thought that was interesting to kind of see, how things are 1 year later, how the events that happened, how it played out for these characters, and how it affected them, how it changed them as a character. Especially Kate. I feel like, Kate changed a lot. from the first to the second book. And I will say I was annoyed with her at times, some of her decisions and her thinking. I did get annoyed with her at times, but at the same time, I was like, I understand. Like, I understand where she's coming from, and I understand why she's doing the things the way she's doing them. I understand her logic or rationale. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And so, I don't know, I just thought it was really interesting seeing her development and seeing how much she changed. With the second book, we do get a lot more political schemes in this one, and we have more twists and things that are revealed. And again, like I said, I love that part of the series, so I was all here for it. There is one thing I would have changed about the ending of Shadow and Flame. This is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to talk about it. But there's one thing I would have liked to see differently. But overall, I loved the series. I loved both the books. Like I said, I gave them both 5 out of 5 stars. And actually, Shadow and Flame became a new favorite of 2019. So I've added that to my new favorite books of 2019, which I'll do a favorites of 2019 at the end of the year. You guys will see that. But yeah, that one will be on the list. So that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I definitely think it's worth the read. This is an amazing series, and it's one that really took me by surprise. When I read the first one, Onyx and Ivory, I read the first book last year, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but I completely fell in love with the world and the characters and everything that's going on. And yeah, it's a new favorite that I wasn't expecting. So definitely worth the read. Check it out if you haven't. And leave me a comment below and let me know if you have read this series. Let me know what are your thoughts, what you think about them. Try not to spoil anything in the comments for anyone who hasn't read them yet. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've read it, what you thought about this series, and what has been your favorite book or series so far in 2019. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!